There's some good news, though, for fans of the U.S. men's national team, Herc, and it has to do with Gio Reyna, who has yet to play for Borussia Dortmund so far this season. We know he's been dealing with and recovering from an injury, but we have some news on the Gregg Berhalter, Gio Reyna saga front. Interestingly enough, it doesn't come from either two protagonists. It comes from Matt Crocker, who, of course, we know is U.S. Soccer's new sporting director. Here's what he had to say. Quote, "Of course we've had conversations with Gregg. Gregg has had conversations with Gio, and we're in a place where as soon as Gio is fit, he'll be in the next camp, and there's a way forward." Herc, Gregg and Gio have finally spoken. Are you buying that, as Matt Crocker says, there's a way forward now?
Not yet. Now listen, Matt Crocker likes to talk a lot. And that's something that we're accustomed to in the U.S. soccer circles, U.S. men's national team circles with Gregg Berhalter. They sometimes talk too much, can talk themselves into a corner. Here's something that he said as well in that same little interview, if you will, or same press conference. "We've got a way forward, and I just want this camp to be over so we can stop talking about it." That's not going to happen. They're not going to just stop talking about it. Why? Because right now, when Gio Reyna and Gregg Berhalter get together for Ghana and Germany in this next October camp, it's going to be like, what was the conversation like? And after the camp of what was the conversation like, it's going to be like, well, what was it like to be in camp with Gio? What was it like to be in camp with Gregg? And after that happens, it's going to be the elephant in the room, Seb. It's, where are you going to put him? Where is he going to fit in your system, Gregg? Because Gregg Berhalter likes a 4-3-3. Gregg Berhalter is an adamant MMA. That is Musa, McKinney, Adams midfield. We saw Gio Reyna over the summer with BJ Callahan as a 10, running the show. He looked good. He looked damn good. So the obvious question is, how do you fit that version of Gio Reyna into a Gregg Berhalter system? And we don't know what that will look like. And until that happens, you're going to have more questions and more questions and even more questions. And that's right now that everything is fine. Wait till something goes wrong.
Yeah. I guess for my point, just kind of what you said earlier, like, why is it Matt Crocker that we're hearing from on this? It should be Gregg Berhalter. It should be Gio Reyna. Those are the guys involved. That's who we should be hearing from. I get it that he wants to come out and kind of put this to bed. But the reality is, Herc, it's not going to bed. It's not going to bed because Matt Crocker chose to bring Gregg Berhalter back and then gave him the summer off so he wouldn't have to deal with the questions. He wouldn't have to deal with whatever the pressure is of Gold Cup. And we couldn't address this in the first few months of his tenure. So now it's gone on and on and on. Now the injury bug is back with Gio Reyna, and who knows when we're finally going to get to address this. We got to get Matt Crocker on the show because there's other news here as well. I don't know if you saw. It sounds like we're basically done with the general manager position at U.S. Soccer. And on top of that, Herc, if you've heard this before from Matt Crocker, we're hearing legacy coaches. So he likes to have coaches now who are basically almost GMs working with him hand in hand. I don't know how I feel like that when national team football is all about results. You got to be able to part ways with your national team manager. And I don't know that that's really something you can do when you're talking about having legacy coaches.
Legacy screens multiple cycles. I mean, is 2 enough? Is he going for more? Like, when I think of a legacy coach...
You want Hugo Sanchez treatment.
Well, that's what I think of when I think of a legacy coach, is somebody who has been there for decades worth. That's a legacy coach who's changed the program in a way. So who knows what we're talking about here with Matt Crocker, but I would love to get him on the show if they would have him.
Yeah, I think we would have him for sure. I think we've had some interviews with him in the past.
With us, I mean.
Yes, of course.